This is the 2012 Apreamare 48 Express. And before we walk up to the bow, I just want to draw your attention to the walkways on each side. For a 48-foot Express, these are the best walkways I've ever seen. You don't even have to turn to the side to go forward. And on one side, you have this beautiful railing, and on the other, once again, a very high railing on the outside. And then where that brings you up to the bow. And I'll give you a shot down starboard, but just love the walkways forward. And then you get to the bow, very roomy bow. You have seating, a giant sun pad. You also have drink holders and phone holders in the sun pad. Just a great setup up here. If I go ahead and I face forward and I open up these lockers, lift up here, and you're gonna see access to your anchor road. And then on this side, same thing, but you'll also see a hose to wash everything down. And just draw your attention to the cleats here and even the windlass. Everything's just so substantial. And let me go ahead and just give you a shot looking aft. And let's start here in the aft. First, let's talk about the swim platform. This Apreamare just has a massive swim platform. You'll see it in the photos. And that's a hydraulic swim platform, so you can lower it to let the dinghy off or just to lounge in the water. The tender that is on this boat is an Inmar tender. It's a 2019 with a 20 horsepower Suzuki 4-stroke. Also, this is a center console tender that can fit up to 3 or 4 people. There's a stereo with Bluetooth speakers as well on the tender. And that'll bring us into our boat. And if I go ahead and just lift up here on the stair, Apreamare does a great job just tucking in a little shower there out of the way, and that's hot and cold water. And stepping into the cockpit, this gives you a good idea of just the large space back here and great seating. And also, I'll give you some different views to appreciate the Italian workmanship. But if I go ahead and just raise the camera a little bit, you'll see the latest model of the Sure Shade. That's an electric Sure Shade that you can retract or put out by the push of a button. And then down here on the very aft, you're going to see the controls for the hydraulic swim platform, and that's also for the lights on it as well. And here's a good view from the starboard side. And here's a good view of this aft seating. And there is storage under all that seating. And then this table, and this table is adjustable. And then facing forward on the starboard side, you got your wet bar. And then if I go ahead and lift up here, you've got your sink. And come down below, open up, and you've got your refrigerator. And stepping into the engine room, I'll go ahead and give you some good views of these Cummins QSC 8.3 600 horsepower motors. Now this owner is very dialed in on his service and has all his service records. And now turning towards port, and you'll see everything is very neat and organized. And then if I come over here, and that vent right there is air conditioning. So if you are working down here on a hot day, it'll provide some relief. And here's a good view of this Masse 14.5 kilowatt generator right there tucked in the middle. And now with an easy pull, our aft will open and lock. And then if we want to go one step further, and with the push of a button, I can continue to push the sliders all the way till they almost disappear. And that opens up your entire boat to the aft seating. Just love the design by Apreamare. And now that brings us into the salon. And here on the port side, you'll see L-shaped seating surrounding a table, and there is some storage in this seating. And then if I go ahead and I just pull out here, you'll see this whole table extends, and you'll see it almost doubles the size of the table. So it's great when you have those extra guests. And then just push them back in, And we're back to the smaller footprint of the original table. And then moving over to the starboard side, you're going to see your flat screen TV. And it's a good time to note, if I just go ahead and move up a little bit, you're going to see your surround sound Bose system all the way down the sides of the boat. And that's on both sides. And that brings us to counter space. And if I go ahead and open up down below, you're going to see a nice wine cooler built right in there. And now's a good time to bring your attention up to the ceiling, and you'll see a giant sunroof. And that moves us forward up to our helm. And turning around, giving you a shot of the helm seat, and you'll see it does have its own bolster, plenty of room to stand, and then the actual helm. And before we dive into the helm, I just want to kind of step back and let you get a good view of the presentation of the helm. It just fits really nicely into this beautiful boat. And then we'll go ahead and start at the top with the Ritchie compass. And then down below, you're going to see your smart craft vessel views on each side of this Raymarine E120, which is going to display your GPS, your depth, your radar. And then if I come down below that, you're going to see your gauges. And then directly in front of the captain within easy reach are all his switches, his bow thruster. Then over here, your autopilot, your throttles. And then directly to the side of the captain, you're going to see your VHF, your climate control, and that leads us to the air conditioning vents that they have directly pointed to the captain. And that will bring us down into our galley. And let's start here with storage up above. And then if I come down below, and I open up here, you're going to have your freezer. And then I open up here and you've got your refrigerator. Then you're going to see a lot of counter space, 3-burner stove, down below convection oven, and then more storage below the counters, and above the counters, dish storage. Then if I turn around, you have more counter space, and then you've got more cupboard and drawer storage. And then if we go ahead and we open up this compartment right here, you're going to see access to the bilge. You'll see it's very clean, very organized, but what those are cutoffs for valves for the entire boat. So you can just reach in quickly and cut off, say, water to the head or whatnot. And then moving aft, you have a beautiful sitting area or another berth or an office. And this area just has a ton of counter space, ton of storage. This current owner uses it as bar and refreshment storage, but you'll see cupboards down there as well. And one added bonus is if I just go ahead and I push here, out pops a working desk, and I can do the same on this side. And you have a very large desk. And if I move all the way to the aft wall and I open up here, you're going to see all your systems, very organized, clearly labeled. And now as we move forward towards the bow, that will bring us to our master. And just once again, Apreamare does just such a beautiful job of making the boat just wonderful to look at. I mean, just everywhere you look, everything just shows so nicely. And let's start here with this very large and comfortable master berth. And you'll see storage towards the head of the bed there on each side. And Apreamare does a great job of building cutouts here, so it's easy to get in and out of bed on each side. And you'll see just very large closets on each side, as well as drawer storage under the bed. And that will bring us to our master, and I'll go ahead and open up and give you a look. You'll see very large stand-up shower. Once again, very elegant presentation. And then a very roomy head. As we step in the master stateroom, I open up here another compartment, very large for storage. And moving slightly forward in the master, lift up here, and once again, just a massive amount of storage. Right now, the current owner's got a grill stored in there, so that kind of shows you the size. You'll notice all these bilges are just very clean. And now if we go ahead and open up here, that'll lead us to the guest stateroom. And you'll see it's a very roomy guest stateroom. Great light. And you'll see Over here you have what looks to be a double, and then on the other side a single, and you'll see a closet, drawer storage, but just a roomy guest stateroom. And now we're bringing us to the guest head. Open up here, and you'll see a nice sized guest head. And now's the time of the video where I go ahead and give a condition report, and I name opportunities for the new owner to improve this boat. In terms of condition of this Apreamare 48, first I have to say, they just designed such a beautiful, stylish boat. I mean, just the coolest boat just to walk around and appreciate everything. I mean, just everything presents so nicely. I really love the curved windshield. I love that you can open the boat up all the way across the aft, as well as the sides here. You can pull these windows open, and you could even open up this giant sunroof to let fresh air in. I just love the design of this Apreamare 48. It just presents very clean, very classic, and very comfortable everywhere you look. In terms of the condition this owner keeps it in, he keeps it really dialed in. He is a caretaker who, just does general maintenance for the entire boat. He has it mechanically dialed in with all his service records. He has a guy who comes and works on all this mahogany and teak you see, probably on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. And then, of course, he has a detailer on top of that. He's really dialed into this boat, and it shows well. And they have it appointed so well. I mean, the soft goods, everywhere you look, it just really shows very nice. Even the bedding, the decorative touches, art on the walls. I just really like how they have this boat laid out. In terms of opportunities for the new owner to improve this boat, I didn't see too much. The owner did report that he lost the remote control for the Bose system, stereo system. He does have a way to have these Bose speakers come on, but he has lost the remote and cannot find another. Also, there's no TVs in the staterooms. If that was important to somebody, they might want to add them. And the only thing, other expectation I dial in is this guy has a teak and mahogany guy who comes out periodically and works on all the wood. So I think you'd want to either find your own, or maybe it's something you want to do, but I'd keep up with that. This boat just seems like it's ready for the cruise down the waterway, down the coast, or to the islands.